Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. I'm your host, Mike Williams, and this is my co-host here, Geoffrey.
Good afternoon, Bay Nation.
I just wanted to go over some quick waiver wire selections you should be looking at this week. Now, I'm going to start with the running back position. So, there are running backs that you're going to start right now, and ones that you can hold on to. Starting at the top with the one that you can actually hold on to and use long term, we have Myles Gaskin. He looks like he's going to be getting a majority of the work in Miami, and yes, I know it's Miami, but I mean, you getting enough touches, you're going to be relevant. Next, we have players that are going to be nice spot starts, at least until the primary running back gets back. So we have Carlos Hyde because unfortunately, Chris Carson got rolled up on unnecessarily towards the end of the game, so he's probably going to miss a week or two. I believe Carlos Hyde will step in. Next, we have Jeff Wilson Jr. I believe he's going to step in while a plethora of running backs are injured for the San Francisco 49ers. I think that he should have a solid stretch as long as everybody else is out, basically. Next, we have Rex Burkhead. Now, I don't really like to play Patriots running backs that often, to be honest with you. Just because Bill Belichick is smart. He's not going to just have one guy and say, that's my guy, we're using him. He has a medley of running backs, which makes logical sense. But that doesn't help your fantasy football team. So, if you want to roll the dice on Rex Burkhead having a nice stint as a running back, or as their primary running back, sure, but James White is out and he should be back soon. Sony Michel looks like he's going to be involved. Damian Harris looks like he's going to be involved. So just know that if you pick up Rex Burkhead, you may or may not get some value out of him. But there's a chance you could blow up like you did this week, right? Next, we're going over to the wide receiver position. Starting at the top, Justin Jefferson. Wide receiver for the Minnesota Vikings. He is my number one waiver pick of the entire week. He is absolutely fantastic. He blew up this week. The Vikings don't want to be a pass-heavy offense, but their defense is not really giving them much of a choice. So I think that moving forward, he should be a very solid option. You should definitely go get him off the waiver wire. Next, we have T. Higgins. Now, T. Higgins is a wide receiver from the Cincinnati Bengals, and it seems like there is a connection between him and Joe Burrow. That being said, T. Higgins got a lot of work last week, in my opinion, because AJ Green was being shadow covered by Darius Slay. That's not going to happen every week, but AJ Green has been getting some tough coverages since the season has started. So, when AJ Green's not going to be predominant, I think that you could play T. Higgins. Next, we have Allen Lazard. I've talked about him before, wide receiver from the Green Bay Packers. He's very solid. I think while Devontae Adams is out, he is a very good look. And when Devontae Adams gets back, I think that he will be a flex play. Next, I have Greg Ward. Now, I like Greg Ward, mainly because he's the last man standing. If you don't know who Greg Ward is the wide receiver off the Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, the Eagles who have lost Alshon Jeffrey's injured, but should be back soon. I'll be getting to him in a moment. Deshaun Jackson just went down. Dallas Goedert went down. Jalen Reagor just went down. They have so many injuries at their wide receiver position. Greg Ward is currently the last man standing. Next, I do want to mention Alshon Jeffrey. Alshon Jeffrey is not a bad ad, especially considering the fact that he's coming back and he's going to be Carson Wentz's favorite target other than Zach Ertz. So whenever he's healthy, I think that he's going to be a good play. Do not play him the first week, but in general, I believe he should be a good play. All right, next we have Chase Claypool. With Deontay Johnson going down to a concussion, I believe, for the week, there's a chance he doesn't play next week. I believe that elevates Chase Claypool, who looks very talented. He's not getting the targets, but with Deontay Johnson leaving and vacating those targets, I believe Chase Claypool should have a very solid outing. And that's it for wide receivers. Next, let's get to the tight end position. And Can't believe I'm saying this again, even though I've said it a couple times. Still feels weird. Jimmy Graham is a very solid tight end to grab. He's been playing fantastic. He's getting the targets. They use him in the red zone. They paid him, and I guess they're going to use him. So I definitely think you can pick up Jimmy Graham and start him in your lineup. Next, we have Dalton Schultz. I've talked about him a couple times. He's a tight end from the Dallas Cowboys, and I think that he could be a solid play. After that, Mo Alley Cox. He is a giant man that is a tight end for the Colts. You know why you like tight ends for the Colts? Because Phillip Rivers loves throwing it to the tight end and the running back. He loves to dink and dunk passes. And Mo Alley Cox is getting some looks in the red zone. I'm a fan. I think that this can continue, especially because Jack Doyle played this week. And he didn't get very many touches or looks at all, actually. Next, we have the defensive position. I really like the Rams. Now, you're thinking, Mike, the Rams are probably owned. No, they're actually not. They're pretty much widely available in a lot of leagues. So definitely grab them. This week, they have the very turnover-prone Saquon Barkley-less New York Giants. And then the week after that, they have Washington. Fantastic. Next, the Arizona Cardinals get the Panthers and then the Jets. It's a very solid matchup. I think that they should be fine. And then the Broncos play the Jets this week, which are fantastic. It's obviously a 1 week rental, but basically you find offenses that you want to aim at and you pretty much play those defenses. The Jets are terrible. Play people that are playing the Jets. It's kind of simple. All right, and last but not least, we have the quarterback position. Everybody's talking about Jared Goff, and yes, I think Jared Goff is a great ad. But I think Ryan Fitzpatrick made me look a little silly last week. He came out playing amazing. The Seattle Seahawks are going to be up in this game by a lot, most likely. Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to have to throw the ball. And I've got the magic in me. I think that Ryan Fitzpatrick is either going to be down by a lot and have to throw a lot to come back, or if he is keeping up, it's going to be by him. He is going to be throwing touchdowns to keep them in that game. So I think Fitzmagic's going to be a great look for them. All right, and that's going to do it for the Waiver Wire episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any questions, and good luck on the wire this week. Peace, Bay Nation.